Hello, gorgeous friends. Are we recording? Yes, we are. Hi. It's week 5. It's our final week of the tapping challenge. Thank you so much for coming and spending this time with me, with us as a community, and getting to know EFT tapping and how you can use it to really become more conscious, more aware, more present in your life, in your parenting. For me, that's a real gift that you're willing to pick that up. I was sharing with my membership group yesterday actually about why I value this tool so much, and I'm going to express it again here. And the thing is, for me, the journey of becoming a more conscious and present parent is so important in my life and something I really want to be a part of the movement of bringing more into in the world. And there are lots of ways to do that. You know, I'm not here to dictate the way that needs to be done. For me, it is about being aware of our thoughts, being aware of our feelings, getting more present with the moment that we're in, with the people that we're with, and really coming into more embodiment, being more present in our body, and getting to know ourselves underneath the layers that we all have. So many layers of conditioning from society, from our family, from our education, you know, all the things that we've picked up through life, simply the experiences, the memories that we contain in our mind, you know, our perception of those things are going to make a difference to how we relate to each person, each situation, all the time. And we're always detangling them, we're always letting go of the things that we carry that maybe contain pain and trauma and challenge and difficulty for us. And it really is a journey of awareness, of waking up, of seeing, of being willing to look at and really put things under the microscope and be with them and find our truth underneath it all. But for me, EFT tapping has been an incredibly supportive tool for that process. So there are lots of beautiful ways: meditation, yoga, breathing, all kinds of tools that we can use to support us with this process of being more aware, of being more embodied in our truth, of coming more into this present moment. There are lots of systems that I really love and enjoy that can help us to, you know, go through that process of letting go, of deconditioning, as I say, of releasing, of detangling. But for me, EFT tapping has been so supportive because as we have the courage, and it takes a lot of courage to be present with those things that are maybe not working so well for us, or maybe are not so comfortable for us. As we find the courage to be present with those things, the EFT tapping allows us to soothe our nervous system, to soothe our whole mind-body system, as we stay in presence with that really challenging thing, with that thing that we would so like to avoid, and we are choosing, being the courageous parents we are, to sit with, because we know that underneath that there is more freedom and peace and joy for us and for our family. But first we have to be in that ick, we have to be in that difficulty, we have to be in that challenging feeling, and we have to choose not to do that thing that we've kept on doing before, of reacting rather than responding, or seeking addictions and habits to soothe our emotions and to cover these things up and push them down and push them away. And we're choosing to be with it. And this tapping on these acupoints really is a wonderful bridge to help us get from where we are over here in this yuckiness or this difficulty or this pattern that's not working for us, over to where we want to be. And it soothes our nervous system, it soothes our mind-body system, and it really soothes the amygdala, that part of the brain that goes into fight, flight, freeze, fawn response. And when that happens, we want to instantly go into our coping strategies that we've learned. We want to go into those I say unhelpful habits and patterns, but actually they're the most helpful ones we've had and known, which is why we use them. So we have to give them gratitude, but actually maybe there's something better for us. Maybe there's something that can help us to feel better on the other side if we can grow through this time. And so I think the EFT tapping really supports us with that journey into more conscious, aware parenting, and the fact that it's a self-help technique, that it's free, that it's really easy for me to show you and you to pick up and just start using it. However busy and intense and full your life or your brain is right now, for me it's just everything for parents, because I too have been that parent, and I came into my parenting journey knowing these techniques, and still had times in my parenting journey, many times, where I felt well beyond capacity, and the thought of accessing tools to support myself felt like too much, So I needed very instant and gentle and supportive things that I could actually bring into where I was right now. And for me, tapping is the top one, because you can use it when you're in that intensity. You can use it when you're holding space with your child. You can use it before you collapse into bed. You can use it while you're having a wee, the ultimate multitasking. So yes, there is more depth of work that you can do with EFT tapping. Yes, it is something that I love to invite people to do with the mindset more of meditative and contemplative, when you contemplate as a practice. And I think, the depth of work that is possible within the EFT tapping is there to unlock so much more. But if we can start by using it where we are and start to take down the intensity and start to turn things around, that is an incredible tool to have as a parent. And I love that for you. If you've joined this challenge and been giving it a go, I'm so happy for you. And I know lots of people then bring it into their families. And I don't suggest that you go and say, I found this great technique which is going to help you with your anxiety or you with your behaviour. No one likes to be on the receiving end of that, however sensitive or not they are as children, or people in general. No one wants to hear, I think you ought to make changes. But actually, if we are demonstrating a change in us, that invites curiosity from people about maybe what we're doing different. And it means we have something to offer to our children and young people at a time, if they are open and receptive and seeking something, then you have it to give. So today I want to talk about a few things that might help you troubleshoot if you're finding yourself getting stuck at all, either along the challenge or into the future. I could predict some of them. So the first thing is, if you're giving this a go, but you're not really feeling a big shift, you're not feeling a big change, people are talking about getting results and you're thinking, maybe I feel a little bit calmer, but nothing's really changing. So the things that you can do to really help with that, the first one is, when you do the process where we tap on the side of our hand and tap on the points and say the words, is to really put some energy and emphasis behind it. We are actually kind of talking to our brain, which is, say, pushing against us sometimes. And we need to speak with some authority and some clarity and really give it the message loud and clear, that in this grounded space, I am choosing this and I'm speaking it with authority, and put some energy behind it and be sure in your words. Even if you don't feel sure, that's okay, but we're putting the balance in. So, really say it with conviction. And I know that I, am very expressive with my voice and with my hands, and it's not everyone's style. So you don't have to do it my way, but you need to put the energy and the emphasis in your way. So I would really ham it up, and even though I have this feeling, I deeply and completely accept myself. And you do it your way. Okay, another thing you can do is sometimes, and especially a lot of my community that join in the challenges, there's a lot of neurodivergent expectations in the brain that can get in the way of this process, and different things are going to work for different people. So it might be for you that it works best to find a statement that really settles with your brain and you use it consistently, that you like it to be repetitive and you like it to be the same, and that feels safe and supportive. And so you could say the setup statement that's taught in the basic strategy is to say, even though, and then put your thing in there, I deeply and completely accept myself. So you could stick to that, because it's going to be in any writing you look up, it's going to be in YouTube videos that you watch, anything you follow, you're going to find it consistent, and you can get to know it and you can say it over and over again, and that might feel safe and supportive. You haven't got to reach to think with your brain, what am I going to say? For some people, it's the opposite. The predictable or the given script, our brains can kind of push it away and resist it. We can either feel bored or we can feel like we're being told what to say, you know. So you can say whatever feels good to you. The point of the statement, I deeply and completely accept myself. What we're trying to achieve is to say this thing that we're working on, this thing that we're tapping on, it in this moment feels like something which is not okay. And I want to tell myself that I can feel this and I'm okay, even though I've got this feeling. I'm safe, I'm a good person. So you can say, I love myself, I forgive myself, I am safe, I am a good parent, I'm doing my best, I love and appreciate myself. So you can seek whatever statement suits you and put it in there. And if it feels like it lands, if it feels good to your body, if your brain accepts it, go for it. You can use one that's consistent, or you can use your instinct, you can change it up and move it around. So you can do it in whatever way works for you. So that's another little troubleshooter that can help people get over a hump where they get stuck, because different ways work for different people. Another thing, do you remember in one of the weeks I talked about how we can peg? So we can do the tapping at a time where we are already doing some kind of daily activity. So brushing our teeth when we wake up in the morning. And I just want to remind you of that, because it is a bit of a troubleshooter thing, because we can forget to do our tapping as time goes on. As I'm saying goodbye to you out of this challenge, you know, it's going to drift out of your mind. I'm not coming and saying, come and do this tapping. Now you can come and join me on my YouTube channel where I put out weekly videos and we do some tapping. That's going to help ground you and guide you and keep you reminded of having this as a tool, of course. So please do feel free to do that at Resistance Free Parenting. And you can also do this pegging technique where you've got something consistent either every day if you're working on something in the moment, or a couple of times a week. You know, maybe it's on the day where you do the school run, you know, or you have an after school club and you pick up at a different time, or, you know, whatever works for you that comes up a couple of times a week. I've no idea what that is, because our week is a bit more varied than that. But something that pegs you to that day or a certain time that's going to remind you that, okay, do I want to make some space for some tapping here? And I think it's really important just for me to express that we are going to push it away. We are going to have resistance to it. We do, to all these tools that can help us make change, because our psyche really likes to sit in what's familiar, and things that can help us move beyond and grow mean change. And change is a bit scary. Familiar feels more safe, even if it's yuck. So we have to really consciously choose it and really consciously work with it. We have to say, I know I deserve to be, you know, on the other side. I deserve to have this growth, and my family deserves to have this growth, and I'm going to stick with this, and I'm going to commit to it, to myself. I'm going to commit to myself. And we do have to consciously choose it. because if we just go on autopilot, our subconscious is running the show, and we will just go back to our old patterns. So it is one of the helpful ways you can do it is to peg. Another thing you can do is to have a friend, a listening partner, a family member that is your tapping partner, that you either share your stories and successes with, or you get together and tap with. I have friends in other EFT tapping therapists who I like to connect with, and we do, video calls where we get together and we support each other through our stuff, because it can be really hard sometimes to see our own barriers and blocks and patterns. And you can hear things that people say, and you can see things that people say, and you can offer gently. Do you notice that you say that a lot, or that comes up for you a lot, and you can offer things? But it's really important that we sit in that space of really a lot of gentleness and playfulness and lightness, and be a good listener, and let people come to things in their own time, because nobody likes somebody coming in again and saying, this is something you need to change. That's not what it's about. But we can support each other and uplift each other. And if you want to use this space of the Tap-In Taster as a Facebook group to ask questions, to ask for support, to put things out there, please feel free to do that, and I will respond as I go into social media and check into comments and things, and I will come back to you when I can. There is no possible way in which this is ever offered as an emergency space, so medically, practically, in any way, you have to be looking after yourself, and this does not take the place of any kind of primary support for you. But if you would like some guidance and some additional support, and you have some curiosity around how EFT tapping can support you as you're moving through an experience, please feel free to come and ask. You are also always welcome to get in touch with me personally. Some of you are in other Facebook spaces with me, part of my community. Some of you are in my membership space. I do limited one-to-one video sessions with parents, particularly around weekends, work well for our family. My family life is my full-time job, but I am, highly trained and experienced over many years, and I do love to do this work. So if you think you would enjoy exploring something with somebody, I have a great deal of experience, but more importantly, I have a good intuition. And for somebody to work with EFT tapping, it can really help to have somebody who's a bit like a detective, that can help you really get to the bottom of something, and really find the roots of something, and really find where the patterns come together. And that's what I love to do with my clients. So if you would like to link up and do one-to-one, we can absolutely do that. Let me know if you'd like the details of that. And I also have a membership space for parents of PDAs like my daughter. So if you'd like some information about that, we've got a new intake in January, and I'd be happy to let you know about that. So lots of different ways that you can seek support and community and keep this going as being part of your life. Any other troubleshooting? I'm just trying to think. Yes, people get stuck. People get stuck on what to say. We go away and we think we've got it, and then something comes up and we're like, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. And we get all up in our head about it. So for me, the most important thing is you just can't get it wrong. The point of the words that we say are simply to put our attention on something. So how can you possibly get that wrong? Because if you've got something going on, your attention is on it. You're coming to do some tapping because you want to do something with something going on for you. You're already in it usually. So just be really gentle, and remember that this technique is extremely supportive and open. If you miss a point, if you get the point not exactly right, it doesn't matter. If you don't get the words right, it doesn't matter. You're really gonna be guided by your body and your intuition and find the results, your way. So trust yourself and just be easy with it. And if you really find yourself getting caught up about what the words are, remember over the weeks that we've learned how you can just directly tap on the body, on the feeling. So you could just tap on the points and just notice what you're feeling in your body, or notice what the thoughts are that are coming up, and just be present with that without even saying anything, and just tap around the points. If you're struggling with the words, that's fine too. My last troubleshooting tip is to have, I don't know why I'm showing you, because you really know what a notebook looks like, but I felt the need to demonstrate. To have some kind of simple notebook, journal. This is my one. It says journaling, affirming, uplifting, inspiring, guiding, allowing, and it's got hearts on it, and it's cheap and cheerful, just my scribbled notes. And just, you can just, a piece of paper or notes on your phone is fine, whatever works for you. It hasn't got to be anything fancy, but something where you can get out of here and put it on paper. Because when you do that, it gives you that clarity, and it forces you to focus it. And it also gives you the opportunity to come back to it and see where you are in relationship as you move through the journey. So putting things down on paper is really supportive. It's also really confronting. It makes it very real. We can keep a fuzziness when we hold on to it in our head, but it keeps spinning around. When we put it on paper, it's like, okay, I've committed to this, and now I'm looking at it. So it's confronting. So be very gentle with yourself, that it might bring up more stuff actually as you write it down, but it's really, really supportive as part of the process to get it down and to work with it. And do you remember how we use the scoring system? Something you can use in your writing is to say, how true does it feel on a scale of 0 to 10, or how big does it feel with my hands on a scale of 0 to 10, and allow yourself to notice the progress. And the final thing that I really want to encourage you to do is to take the flipping pressure off. We put so much pressure on ourselves to be somewhere other than where we are. And when we're moving through a time of change with tapping, a time of healing and deconditioning, we put these time pressures on ourselves. We put these time scales. And even if we don't really do it really consciously, saying we've got to have dealt with this by now, and we just kind of, we feel this sense that it's not okay to be in it. We need to have moved through it. It's not okay to be in this place. And actually, the goodness is in being in this experience. Look at how well I'm sitting in this experience. Look how completely I'm experiencing this. Look at all the wonderful learning and knowing and growing that's coming through, staying in this time until it really is the right time for me to move through. And maybe, you know, we don't really know what that timing is. We have to let go of that. We have to let go of some of the control of that and actually trust being in the journey. So I'm sending you so much love as you move through your experience of this. Remember, I am here to support you. I'm treasuring you for being here and spending this time with me and with us. Thanking you so much for all that you do as being a member of my community and my world, but also being that parent that's willing to go there, to grow, and to be more conscious and gentle as you move through the world. That's precious to me, and I thank you for that. And if there's things I can do to support you on that journey, just let me know. Much love to you. We will be doing the tap-in challenge again, so if you'd like to join us and move through it again, you're always welcome to come as often as you like, have a bit of a revisit, a revise, a refresh, and you're always welcome to bring along, you know, friends, family, anyone that you think, oh, they might be interested to learn a bit of this themselves. So I'll see you again somewhere, in some space, I'm quite sure. Lots and lots of love. Mwah. Bye.